Hello and welcome to Odds-on qualifiers for the World Cup in Europe, October international break, second part, because we are going to analyze the games we have on Monday, on Tuesday, in a live show with Ronan Murphy, with Alain Valnegri, the whole weekend watching Faroe Island and so many other teams playing around Europe, that we are super ready to analyze the next games that we have in the next 2 days. So stay with us. Of course, let us know in your comments who are you backing. Don't forget, just help us, press the like, subscribe to our channel, and now let's go on with the show. And the first stop is in Slovenia, Group B. And here we have a massive surprise, because at the moment Kosovo are going to play the playoffs. Switzerland can qualify directly to the World Cup if they win here. And Slovenia, and especially Sweden, are in trouble. So Slovenia, Switzerland, 9 points for the Swiss. Perfect record. They beat Sweden away 2-0. They haven't conceded yet a single goal, and Slovenia, as I said, at the moment they are out because they couldn't even beat Kosovo in the last game. They still have to visit Sweden. So, Alain, the Swiss are in the perfect path, directly going to the World Cup as soon as today.
Yes, it's probably the best generation of Swiss football. And in Sweden, we understood that maturity of the team. Probably if Bengvall was playing with more confidence, Sweden start to score first in the game, because there miss a goal unbelievable. And but after that, in the second half, Switzerland take the control of the game. Sweden have a lot of internal problem. No, the press in Sweden speak about the difficult relationship between Thomasson and the vestry. Olsen, the goalkeeper, don't want to go to for this international break. And yes, Sweden are really in a bad moment now. Slovenia don't score in the last 2 games. In my opinion, Slovenia feel more comfortable when they don't must to do the game. We saw that against Sweden. We saw the best version is the best game of Slovenia in this qualification for the World Cup. And against Switzerland, in my opinion, Slovenia will be scored and Switzerland will be received a goal. For that reason, I choose both teams to score odds 1.95.
Alain, Ronan, we have Switzerland to win, or Moyoma, Switzerland to score over 1.5 goals. It's difficult not to back Switzerland, indeed.
Yeah, it's not, because, like you said in the introduction, this is the big chance for Switzerland to qualify for the World Cup. Obviously, the other result has to go their way, but they'll more or less guarantee the playoffs, and they will be more or less guaranteed their place in the World Cup with a win in this match. So it's such a huge game for them, because Switzerland are used to being at the World Cup. We're used to seeing them at the World Cup. They've been in all of the last 5 World Cups, and they've reached the knockout stage in the last 3 World Cups they've been in. So they're not just a team there to make up the numbers. They're a team who goes to the World Cup, and a team who usually does quite well at the World Cup. So they should do the same. They're qualifying. When you saw the group maybe being drawn, you thought maybe Sweden were going to cause problems for Switzerland, or even Kosovo or Slovenia might do something, but it just hasn't happened yet. And Switzerland, they haven't conceded a goal. I know Alain is mentioning that one that Sweden should have scored, but it hasn't happened yet. And they've scored 4-3-2 so far. So they've won 4-0, they've won 3-0, they've won 2-0. So maybe this one's going to be a 1-0 win for Switzerland. And if you think that's going to happen, the correct score on that one, correct score 0-1, and this one is 6.60, because Slovenia haven't scored in the last 2 games. Like Alain said, they've only scored 2 goals so far, and both of those were in the first game, the 2-2 draw with Sweden. So they've been struggling to score goals. Switzerland have been quite solid at the back. They've been decent enough as well going forward, obviously. So I think this is Switzerland's game to win, and I think they could win it to 0. So the exact opposite to what Alain is saying with both teams to score. I'm going for Switzerland to win to 0 at 280.
Let's go to Group J. Here is also very interesting because we have North Macedonia leading with 12 points, and then Belgium with 11, Wales with 10. North Macedonia survived in Belgium with the goalkeeper as a hero. They were able to draw both games with Belgium, and now Belgium need to get at least a point against Wales. They beat them 4-3. It was a great game. De Bruyne, by the way, scored the winner. And, Wales hasn't played an official game since September. They were resting. Ronan, tough test for Belgium, or you expect them to win here?
I think it could be a tough test for Belgium, considering what we saw the last time the two teams played, the 4-3 that you mentioned with De Bruyne getting the winner, and 4 different Belgian players on the score sheet. So 4 kind of different, a couple of them were attacking players, so they are kind of getting goals from all over. And this is kind of the most entertaining group that we have, the kind of most open group, because there's still 3 teams in with a very strong chance of qualifying, and you would be surprised to see any of them top the group. I know North Macedonia are top at the moment, but they have played 1 extra game, and that's because Wales in the last 2 games, like you've said, they've only played friendlies, but they've lost them both against Canada and England. They didn't look good in either of them, whereas Belgium, they have been kind of unbeaten in their last 6 matches, 4 wins and 2 draws. This is usually a match that has lots of goals. Obviously, the 4-3 had lots of goals, but there's been both teams to score yes in all 5 last meetings between these two sides, 2 1-alls, and then 3 wins for Belgium. So I think both teams to score yes could be a good option here. 179, that's nearly the exact same as a Belgium win. So if you feel more confident that then Belgium winning, it could be an option. Belgium winning is 181. I think it was 179 when I looked last night, but I think from the writing on the screen, it's somewhere around 180 now, 181. But I'd like to kind of boost that a small bit by saying Belgium are going to win, and there's going to be over 1.5 match goals. So that's at 2.
Both teams to score an over 2.5 goals. Very similar to you is what Omoyoma is saying. Alain?
But it's difficult to predict this group because nobody predicted the draw between Belgium and Macedonia, the North Macedonia in the last game. Yes, when we saw the schedule, both teams have 3 games more, and probably Belgium arrived to minimal 17 points to this group. Belgium can lose this game and qualify for the World Cup directly, because after Wales will be play against North Macedonia, and it's difficult to predict. I have difficulty to trust in this Belgium. I think Rudi Garcia don't change nothing. He don't add the leadership in the bench need this team. The team still have the same problem. We don't understand what happened in Belgium, because for the individual quality, Belgium is a very good team, but in the content is always disappointed side. Maybe the World Cup in 2018, after the team disappeared totally and do a really bad Euro and a really bad World Cup. Wales will be really motivated for this game. Playing in Wales is always really difficult, and I hope a surprise for this game. For that reason, I choose the double chance, 1x odds 2.12.
You are not friend of Belgian people, Alain, of Rudi Garcia.
I have a problem with Rudi Garcia.
Next game, interesting this one as well. Northern Ireland, Germany. This is in Group A, all with 6 points, together with Slovakia. Remember, we saw a big surprise in September with Slovakia beating Germany. Everyone is beating Luxembourg, so it's about the direct clash between these two teams. Germany suffered also in September to beat Northern Ireland in the reverse fixture 3-1. Now they beat 4-0 Luxembourg, but we always expect a little bit more from Germany, Alain, especially taking in consideration the players we see on the pitch. Against Luxembourg, we saw Fritz and 𝗗𝗚𝗦𝗘𝗥 together.
Yes, Nagelsmann need to find some solution, because after the first game losing in Slovakia, Germany can't permit themselves to go to the playoff with this group, with respect for Ireland, for Slovakia, for Luxembourg, but Germany, after the brilliant Euro, they're due. I waited more about this team. In spite of that, they have his destiny in his hand, because if Germany won every games, they will be finished at the first position in the table. Ireland is one of the biggest surprise in this qualification, not only in this group. Who wait that the North Ireland in that position? Maybe we wait something more about Eire, but not North Ireland. But at home is difficult to play against North Ireland. The last game they lose was two years ago against Slovenia. Germany, I consider an accident in Slovakia for Germany. There will be take the game in the most serious way. There must to take it, and maybe the pressure can affect a little Northern Ireland, because there will be a pressure, because now that they are playing to try to go back in a World Cup after 1986. In spite of that, I choose double chance Germany X2 more, both team to score, odds 2.20.
Okay, Ronan, we have a new tool in our website called Smart Bet. Is the AI powered by Oddspedia, giving us tips for all the games. And here we see under 3.5 goals. You can see in the screen is the top tip for this game. Even there is some explanation about the data that is this tip based from. Would you agree to see a low scoring game here?
I wouldn't be necessarily surprised if there was a low scoring game. I would agree with Alain that Germany will come out on top, but I think we both thought Germany would come out on top against Slovakia back in September. So you can't say it's definitely a safe bet for this one, because, like you said, Windsor Park is a difficult place to go. Sometimes it can be a hostile enough atmosphere in there. So there will be kind of heat in this match, and a bit of tension, like Alain said. And Northern Ireland, they haven't been in the World Cup in 40 years, so this is their biggest chance to get back there. And I know on paper they don't have the squad to do it, but Michael O'Neill has turned these players into a very difficult side to beat, a very difficult side to break down. And we saw that at points in the first match when Germany had to kind of really battle to get those 3 points and win 3-1. Northern Ireland, at times, they looked very upward. They were creating chances of their own. It wasn't just one of these games where they were sitting back and you were kind of waiting for the inevitable to happen. They scored a very good goal in the match, and they kind of were unlucky at times. And I know in the end the greater quality shone through, but this Northern Ireland team is better than the Republic of Ireland team at this stage. This Northern Ireland team is capable of getting these sort of results, or getting results off the likes of a Slovakia, or maybe getting a draw against a Germany. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen here, but I think it's more likely that it could happen to Northern Ireland. But they haven't beaten Germany since 1983. Back then, they won actually home and away in qualifying. Both matches were 1-0. Norman Whiteside was on target in the away game. So it's a long time since Northern Ireland did anything against Germany. We don't necessarily think they're going to do anything here, but I'm not going to put my head on the line and say definitely Germany are going to win this one. So I have to look elsewhere for a bit of value. I look in the most recent match, Germany against Luxembourg. Joshua Kimmich scored twice. I know one of those was a penalty, but he has been taking shots a bit more for Germany. I think maybe Nagelsmann is giving him that freedom to take more shots or have more chances. He had 5 shots in that game. So if he has 1 shot in this match, it looks pretty good. Joshua Kimmich over a half a shot on target is 173.
All right, we have both teams to score an over 2.5 goals for Omoyoma, also over 2.5 goals for 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗘𝗥, so going against our AI tool. And also for Monday, we have Group D. Here, Ukraine and Iceland are fighting for the second spot. France should get the ticket to the World Cup in the cold Iceland. Lost to Ukraine 3-5 in a crazy game, but the most important thing, Ronan, I think, is the level of Mbappé. What a goal he scored. It looked like he was playing against children in that beauty. He scored again and again and again, scoring. He picked up a hit, actually, so I'm not sure if he's going to start here.
Yeah, if he does start, he's always worth a bet for scoring any time, because that's what he does. He scored in all 3 games so far. But you know that France will be good without Mbappe. They have quality players anyway. They're not just a one-man team. They have great attacking players. But you think that this is their chance to qualify, and if he is anyway fit or close to fit, he will be risked to start on one, and he won't. He is not the player to kind of shy away from this, because he only needs 4 more goals to reach Olivier Giroud's France records, and that's a record he wants for himself. So he's only 144 to score anytime, but if he does start, it could be worth a look of him to score first at 325, because maybe he might necessarily play the full 90 minutes because of that injury doubt that he has. So first goal Mbappe, if he does start, could be worth a look, because they might think, oh, we can get Mbappe and a few of the others to score goals early, and then we can kind of start to celebrate the party mood that we're heading to the World Cup after that. So France won 2-1 here in September. It has been pretty close. Iceland have been keeping games quite close. They scored plenty of goals in that game against Ukraine. They scored 3 goals of their own. They are not an easy team to beat at home, or to score a lot of goals at home. They don't necessarily concede too many goals at home. I know that 3-5 was a kind of a one-off. So I'd like to look at Iceland +2 here for 189. That even if they lose by 2 goals, you'll get your money back. So they could keep it close, and maybe if France would be happy enough just to pick up 3 points here.
Okay, Mbappé went back to Madrid. He will not play. I didn't have the news, so don't bet on Mbappé. France to win 2-0. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗘𝗥 also could be the replacement. The AI Alain smart bet is telling us under 3.5 goals, so not a lot of goals, aligning with Ronan's tip of France not to thrash Iceland. Alain, what do you expect?
Yes, Iceland lose his first final against Ukraine. The game was this one, and they received a lot of goals against Ukraine. That they concede. I don't understand what happened with that defense. It's true, Ukraine have a really high percent of accuracy in front of the goal, but 5 goals at home is a lot of goal. In change, they scored 3. The player who is playing really good in national team and really bad in his team is Albert Gudmundsson, because he was scoring in the last schedule with his national team. In the first game against France, they scored first, Ireland, but after we saw and we understand the limit. France against Ireland normally score minimal 2 goals in every game. France is minimalist team. France is difficult to understand which mentality. But if France win, this game is already qualified. And in the November international break, with will be a test for Deschamps to prepare the team without pressure. And we know Deschamps, the pragmatism of Deschamps. France will be serious. I agree. In my opinion, is not a game with a lot of goal, but I choose Albert Gudmundsson, less one shot on the target, odds 2.25.
Okay. No, Mbappe, he had an issue with the ankle, and indeed he is back to recover to Madrid, but probably he's gonna be fit to play for Real Madrid. And for Tuesday, more games to analyze. Italy, Israel. This is important because we have Italy with 12 points, second in the standings. Israel trying to chase them, 9, and Italy trying to catch Norway, but Norway has a perfect record with 18 points and a lot of goals scored, 29. So I guess we should expect Italy to beat Israel, and then we will see what happens in Italy. Norway is going to be very difficult for Italy, Alain, but for sure we are having fun watching these Gattuso's Azzurra with high scoring games. It's not anymore the classic catenaccio that we were used to.
Yes, it changed a little. They try to change the mentality. Right now, Italy is nearest to Israel than Norway. Everybody said, yes, Italy must to chase Norway, but Italy is down to Norway 6 points, and the average of goal is utopical. If they arrive to the last games with 3 points less, Norway is utopical for Italy to recover that distance of goal average, because it's goal average. And yes, Gattuso must to still to build his team, his mentality, and prepare the playoff. Playoff means bad record, bad memory for Italy, and he must to prepare the team with an idea, clear idea of how he want to play, but especially with the mentality. He must to work about the the mind of the player, because too trauma in 8 years, because in Italy is trauma than going to the World Cup. And Gattuso must to change that. I think he's the manager to change that with his mentality. And after in the tactical approach, he has assistant like Barzagli, like Bonucci can change the things and give an identity to the team. Until now, the identity is difficult to understand the identity. Maybe in Estonia, last Friday we saw an improvement because the team was winning easy, but against Estonia is not a reference. I can't understand how Gattuso is working with the team, and the player integrate the concept of the game of Rino Gattuso. And against Israel is a test, because in the first game 9 goals, victory 5-4. During the extra time, it was difficult to Italy to win against this Israel. Israel is coming in Italy after the 5-0 in Norway, 10 goals received in 2 games. I have difficulty to watch Israel catch point in Italy. The good news for Italy is Pio Esposito, because Pio Esposito show we consider the age, the potential, and the mentality he have. It's a lot of time I don't saw an Italian striker with that type of potential. I trust in him. For that reason, I choose Pio Esposito will score a goal at 2.20.
And we saw also Moise Kean having a bad start with Fiorentina, scoring. Also Retegui scoring in that game. Italy to win and over 2.5 goals, also over 3.5 goals for Omoyoma. We are following, of course, Ronan, that 4-5 that we saw recently.
Yeah. The hope for the neutrals is that Italy win, and that there's lots of goals in this match. So fingers crossed that both things will happen there, because a World Cup without Italy just isn't the same, is it? We all remember the playoffs, but it looks like they're going to have to navigate the playoffs. And I think every other team in Europe, every other country that makes the playoffs will not want to play Italy, because Gattuso is kind of turning them into a more entertaining side than we're used to seeing. Like you said, they've been they've been good away, but they've been strong apart from the Norway game. But they've been strong at home. They haven't conceded a goal yet at home. The 2-0 win over Moldova and 5-0 win over Estonia. And I know, like Alain said, that these teams aren't kind of the measure of what you want to put Italy up against, but you can only beat the teams that you play, and that's what they've been doing at home. They haven't conceded yet at home. 4 wins in a row, home and away, since losing to Norway in the opener. So this Italy time is kind of growing and growing with every game. I like Alain's bet of Esposito to be an anytime goal scorer, because I had a look at the other anytime goal scorers, and Keane and 𝗗𝗚𝗦 are only 1.62 anytime goal scorers. So there's not huge value in them, but I think there is value in Italy scoring, and that kind of agrees with what our commenters are saying, that I think this one could be another opportunity for Italy to score goals, because they have been scoring goals. Maybe not as many goals as Norway have been scoring, but they have been scoring plenty of goals in this group, and they can score more goals again here. So I like to look at Italy over 2.5 goals, which is 180.
Well, imagine Italy-Turkey in the playoffs with Montella as Turkey's manager.
Babe.
This could be a tough twist in the destiny of Italy. Our computer, Ronan, you love the Opta supercomputer. Now we have the Otspedia supercomputer. Goes to both teams to score for this game. Next game, Portugal-Hungary. Portugal can also secure their World Cup spot, 9 points, perfect start thanks to a late winner against Ireland. Ruben Neves scored. We saw against Cristiano Ronaldo in the pitch 90 minutes, and Hungary 4 points, fighting with Armenia and Ireland for the second spot, being the Hungarians the favorites. Although, Ronan, perhaps you still have some hopes to overtake Hungary and go to the playoffs.
I have zero hope in Ireland after watching them in 3 matches so far in this qualifying campaign. I have no hope. We had 2 shots compared to Portugal's 30 on Saturday evening, and both those shots were off target. So yeah, no shots on target in 90 minutes, and then Irish people were disappointed that we didn't get something from the game. But yeah, it was just disappointing that Ireland defended so well for so long. But Portugal, you could see the goal was going to come, and the referee would have played 2 weeks of stoppage time to make sure the goal came, because there was the dodgiest penalty you have ever seen. The ball hit the player's chest, but yet it was a handball. So who knows? So the referees are making sure that Portugal will go to the World Cup, so that should help them against Hungary here. And for Ireland to have any chance of qualifying, we also need Portugal to win here. So yeah, the top scorers in World Cup qualifying, Ronaldo wanted to become the top scorer in World Cup qualifying, but he was denied from the penalty spot. Qualification Kelleher with a great penalty save, but he has 39 goals in 49 qualifying games for the World Cup. Carlos Ruiz from Guatemala is who he's level with at the moment. He did his 39 goals in 2 fewer games. So this is going to be Ronaldo's 50th World Cup qualifier for Portugal. He will want to score, especially after missing that penalty. He will play the full 90 minutes again to make sure he gets those goals. Ronaldo, an anytime goal scorer, is 157. We've seen him score so many times at international level. It's always worth a bet. Ronaldo to score 2 or more is 325. I like that, because from what I've seen of Hungary and what I saw of them in Dublin live, I do not think they're very good. Portugal, on the other hand, can be ruthless, despite what we might think of their manager. I'm sure Alain might go into that in a minute. Hungary have scored 2 in every game so far, so I think this could be a both teams to score yes match, 198. So I will tie that into the fact I strongly believe Portugal are going to win. Portugal win and both teams to score yes is 260.
Okay, they are following Omoyoma or Tony, your thoughts. Ronan, Ronaldo to score and Portugal to win, or Ronaldo to score 2 goals. Indeed. Alain, your take?
Yeah, now with Portugal against Ireland, 30 shot, not only on the target, but a strong team. Finally, I start to see something more in the offensive production, especially in the way to attack. Then They have some different way to attack right now, and it's a good news. It's a good news for offensive football fans because Portugal has amazing potential. Um, I hope to see more Gonzalo Ramos playing for this team because I think with the concept of Luis Enrique, he can give a lot of things to the team to in his interpretation of the role of the number nine. And yes, Ronaldo still score is always a not a sure bet, but a pretty sure bet to choose him for a goal. But in this case, I choose odds for Hungary. Hungary in the last 5 games away, they scored 4 times in the first half. For that reason, I choose Hungary over 0.5 goals in the first half at 3.20.
Okay, to score at least a goal. And the last game is Turkey, Georgia. This is for the second spot in Group E. Here, Spain should qualify, and then the second spot is kind of open between Turkey and Georgia. But if Turkey wins here, is game over. They will play in the playoffs after destroying Bulgaria 6-1 away. Remember that the last home game was a heavy defeat for Turkey, 6-0 against Spain, but they already beat Georgia 2-3. So overall, Alain, really, really high scoring games.
Yes, especially for the goal market. I think the first game between both teams finished with 5 goals, with a victory 3-2 for Turkey. Yes, still the same things. Turkey has the offensive player, the biggest generation in attack, in the offensive midfielder. Montella have a diamond with Arda Güler, with Ildiz, the same Aydin in the middle, Koksu, Chanaloglu, Kerem. The potential is amazing. It's amazing, and only Spain can be beat with that way. Turkey, in my opinion, Turkey can be compete with against every team. Now, Georgia is the last call for Georgia because Georgia need a victory. A draw is okay for Turkey because they conserve the advantage. And in the last game, if Turkey beat Bulgaria, that will be second. And my opinion, Turkey is really favorite, include for this game. We see Turkey start already really fast the game, and for that reason, I choose Turkey 1 or 2 goals in the first half at 1.60.
We see in our website, Ronan, also the both teams to score market, which could be a good idea for this game.
Yeah, I think goals is what we're all kind of expecting from this game because how many goals these teams have scored, how many goals these teams have conceded. They played in September. There was 5 goals in that match. They played at Euro 2024. There was 4 goals in that match. So yeah, Turkey tend to score 3 goals against Georgia. So hopefully for anyone betting on the goals market, it's more the same. Turkey to score 2 goals in this match is actually pretty appealing at 173. Turkey goals over 1.5 is 173. I like to look at that one because we saw there on Saturday that they scored 20 goals. They got 6 goals and they have kind of spread the goals around. I know there was an OG, but they have been spreading the goals around pretty well throughout the campaign. Turkey to score over 2.5 goals is even more appealing because of what the odds are for that one. 325. Maybe a little safer is total goals in this match. Over 2.75 is 210 because maybe Georgia are getting on that app themselves, and it would tie in with what our commenters are saying. They're expecting goals in this match too. But I do like just a straight Turkey win at 176 to get them in kind of touching distance of the World Cup. And like you said, they were battling for the playoff. There's always the kind of 0.0% chance that Bulgaria will beat Spain and Turkey could be heading for a top spot.
Exactly. Everything could happen in football. I'm sure that David at the other side of this screen is happy, will be happy if this things happen, although it's very, very unlikely. Well, Tony Salva is going for over 2.5 goals. For this one, a safe bet. Well, this is it in our tour around Europe. Remember, we have another qualifiers in November, the last ones, before knowing which teams are going directly to the World Cup and which ones are going to the playoffs. To finish the video, as always, I want to let you know that we have our tipster competitions going on. It's absolutely free to participate, and you can win up to 1,000 euros. So not bad at all. We have the monthly ones. We have a specific one for the Premier League, and we have rivals where you can create your own tipster competition. We are adding really cool tools to our website, including the one that I mentioned before, the Smart Bet. There you go. Ronan, safe bet?
My safe bet is Italy to win at 122.
Alain?
Turkey, Georgia, 1x with 1.5 goals, odds 1.47.
And let's go with your ACAs. Alain Valnegri?
Slovenia, Switzerland, both teams to score. Estonia, Moldavia, over 1.5 goals. Italy, Israel, over 0.75 goals in the first half, total 3.39.
There you go. So we have to watch Estonia to know if your ACA is correct. Estonia, Moldova is a tough one. Ronan?
Yeah, I avoided saying that Armenia were going to beat Ireland, but I think that them on a double chance could be a good option we didn't mention on the show. But yeah, my ACA is Belgium to win and over 1.5 total match goals in that game, and Turkey to win for 352.
Well, Armenia to win is 8.5. If someone is interested in this bold bet. Well, guys, this is it for our World Cup qualifiers. Luckily, this is over, and we are going to be back this week with a lot of shows with the Liga and with the Bundesliga. And next week, we have Champions League and Europa League. Thanks for watching. Thanks for this trip, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.